What's up? This is Nathan with the Cornfed Coverage. Feel free to like and comment anything that you might like on the video, but these are my other analysts.
I am Chase.
Michael.
And let's go ahead and kick off by getting into that semifinal games over the weekend. Chase, do you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, I can start us with the first one. My Miami Ole Miss on Thursday. Kind of feels like it was a while ago after a long weekend of exciting playoff football. But yeah, Miami. I thought Miami would win. I went 1 for 2 on my college football predictions. Miami was the one that I got right. And it kind of went how I thought in a way. Miami controlled the line of scrimmage both with their offensive line and their defensive line. But Chambliss made plays to keep them in the game. Even with that last drive, I thought he was really clutch and poised to take the lead there at the end. And I kind of thought it was going to be game, to be honest, when they took the lead. There was like 3 minutes left or so, if I'm remembering right. It was a long time ago since this game when they took that lead. And I didn't think Carson Beck was going to be able to go down the field. They needed a touchdown. Miami, they went down. They got that touchdown, took the game. Watching it was kind of surprising that Ole Miss took the lead because I thought Miami felt like they were dominating the game, but they shot themselves in the foot a couple times with penalties and turnovers. But good game by both teams. Ole Miss was losing or didn't have some of their coaching staff there that day because they were already in LSU with Lane Kiffin. So great job by Ole Miss to go on this run. I feel like they're one of the first Cinderella runs in this playoff as a 10 seed without their head coach, and they did really well. But Miami looks pretty good. And I just realized I got it mistaken. Ole Miss was a 6 seed and Miami's the 10 seed, but Ole Miss felt like Cinderella more of an underdog than Miami did.
We also have seen the stadium, considering we've been to Phoenix, because it wasn't in Phoenix, my bad. It was in Glendale. So, whoops.
But same thing.
We've been in the area. Sorry. And then, yeah, I agree with you. Miami just 3 minutes left. Carson Beck put together a game-winning drive.
Even Chambly, he even after they scored with 16 seconds left, Beck just walked it in. He got it down to the 35-yard line on Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He was close to scoring.
Yeah, they literally averaged 10
he
yards
did into
of
the
play
end zone and it fell incomplete, and I was like, damn.
They averaged 10 yards of play on their last drive with 18 seconds left. And so they had a shot. They went 40 yards in 4 plays. So
was that the one where there should have been like a defensive pass interference maybe on that lap?
Yeah.
In the end zone, but they're never going to call that,
No.
Yeah, I feel like especially in the playoffs, they let you play a little bit more and you can get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree. But in that other game, Indiana just kind of came out, pummeled Oregon, 56-22. It was 35-7 at half.
It wasn't even.
Yeah,
it wasn't
think
close.
That's a regular season game. Wow, just Kurt Signetti. Hats off to the whole Hoosier team. Everyone's bought in. Mendoza, he had more incompletions than he did touchdowns. Or he had more. Sorry, I said that incorrectly. Yep, he had more touchdowns than he did incompletions. 3 incomplete passes and 5 touchdowns. You could call him a system quarterback, but others just see that he's a baller. He gets it done. I bet against them. That's why I went 0-2 in my picks in the college football playoff as far as the semifinal goes, but hoping to turn it around for the Natty. But I just think that Dante Moore, he had 2 fumbles. But also Mendoza had 2 fumbles also.
But starting out with that pick 6 is brutal. That is such a mood killer, like right off the bat.
Yep. Pick 6, and then they do go down.
And it's in their territory too.
They did go down to tie it, but then they proceeded to not even score another touchdown until a minute left in the third quarter.
Then they just had 3 turnovers. Yeah, they had 3 turnovers in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
That is not how you win a football game.
And one of those
they scored a little bit
off the 3-yard line, Indiana.
Exactly. Yeah, and then they just ran the ball in. Obviously, Kurt Signetti, they don't have a whole lot of they don't have any 5-star recruits, I believe. I think they might have 1 or 2 4-stars, if
I'm pretty
that.
sure Mendoza was a 3-star when he entered Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
so
were built but they do have a lot of the older players. Like they have a roster of some like 23, 24-year-olds compared to like the 4 or 5-star 19, 20-year-olds.
That's a fair argument, but at the same time, he just got ball knowers. Like I feel like everybody just does their job and they bought in and they play for each other. So that's just something that I really don't think can be understated. But Dan Lanning, they just can't. You can't shoot yourself in the foot and expect to win a playoff game like that.
Not that many times. Slash punked the ball like 4 different times on top of the 2 fumbles in the second quarter. Like
they were their offensive line was overwhelmed all day. The creative blitzing that Indiana was doing, which led to those fumbles, was Dante Moore just getting destroyed out there. And then they had no answer on defense either. With Indiana's quick RPO game, Mendoza making the right decision every single time. I feel like Indiana players just do the right thing every single time. Like they're so well coached.
Well, and then there's that defense. Like their corners were not getting beat deep at all against Oregon's fast wideouts.
And I think Oregon scored on that first drive because it was, besides their pick six, so then their actual second real drive where they ran more than one play, it was a scripted drive. And then once 100%. The script was over, I don't think they had any answer for what Indiana was doing on defense.
No.
Yeah, and that D-line is ferocious. They remind me a lot of Miami's. Yeah. They play fairly similar.
That Natty is going to be... It'll be interesting, but I think Signetti's going to be... We're going to see a lot of the same thing.
I guess we can kind of transition into that game a little bit, too.
Indiana versus
Miami.
It looks like Indiana is favored by 8.5 points. Mm-hmm. That is a lot of points in the national title game. Yeah. So,
and you
obviously,
know what's funny?
Vegas...
I'm taking them to fucking cover that.
I agree. I like that a lot just because Sig really seems to have coached them up. Not a knock on Miami. I think that they're going to be able to score some points in the beginning. Like, their first script, their first 14 plays might go well, but then kind of similar to what we saw with Oregon, I just don't know. I think Mario Cristobal's a good coach. I don't know if he's better than Dan Lanning, but at the same time, I think they're on the same tier right now.
Indiana was favored -4 against Oregon, and they proceeded to win by 34.
That's 3 turnovers in the first half. But also, Miami had plenty of adversity against Ole Miss, and they pulled that win out.
They did, but if you can't stop Indiana's offense with... And I've been raving about how good Miami's defense has been and has been improved from last year, but I don't know. After watching that masterclass that Indiana put on against Oregon, it's really hard to go against them.
Yeah, it's really hard to bet or do anything against Indiana, I feel like. If you look at the games that Indiana struggled in, kind of Iowa, that was a 5-point win. Penn State, they had to go on a game-winning drive or else they were going to lose. Mm-hmm. And then Ohio State was a 13-10 game. So maybe Miami could kind of play a style that's similar to Iowa, Penn State, Ohio State, where they do have probably the best defense that Indiana's going against in the college football playoffs. They have a good D-line. They have a good running back, too. He's been playing well in the playoffs.
Nebraska
they beat Ohio State by more than Indiana did. I don't know if that really matters. So I don't know. Maybe Miami can muck it up with Indiana a little bit.
I think it's going to be good.
I definitely think Indiana's going to win the game, though. I think with Signetti and Mendoza. I'm kind of on line with you guys. I think Indiana's going to win big. But I do think Miami has a profile of a team that could maybe, if their defense is playing well and they can run the ball, get some play action with Carson Beck, maybe they can keep this game close. If they can hold Indiana's offense, then they can cover 8.5.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't disagree with you there either, because Carson Beck, he's a seasoned veteran at the quarterback position. He's played in plenty of big games. He's, right now it seems like he's playing for his teammates. Even though he makes mistakes, they come back stronger. They came back and won the game. You know, even their win against Texas A&M the first round, it wasn't that impressive. Like I think it was 10-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 10-3 with A&M was about 5 yards away from tying the game too at the end.
Yep. So again, it was their defense kind of pulling away for the win. And that is kind of the reason why I think I lean a little bit more heavily on Indiana's side, because I've seen Cignetti go against plenty of top teams. And this year they played in big games. They played in the Big Ten title game. They played in 2 other college football playoff games already, you know? So for whatever reason, I'm not going against Cignetti. Maybe you'll see him smile on the sideline this time around. Who knows?
I don't think we're going to see that man smile until. I don't think he's going to smile until the end of that game. I think we're going to get a lot of that mean mugging Cignetti up until there's zeros on that clock.
Well, and I'm also kind of pulling for the Big Ten to three-peat with the title win.
Yeah.
And with 3 different teams, so that shows the strength of our
depth.
Yeah.
Any SEC fan, hit that dislike button now.
We haven't even. I saw that, and I didn't even realize that the SEC hasn't been in a title game for. This is their 3rd Natty in a row without a team in the Natty.
This Michigan beat TCU, and Ohio State beat, who was it?
Georgia?
Who did they beat last year?
It was Michigan, Washington.
That's who it was.
And then it was whoever last year, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
It was Notre Dame.
Now it's going to be.
Yeah, Notre Dame lost. That's who it was.
And this year, obviously, Indiana, Miami.
Yeah. I do think that if Notre Dame was in the playoffs, they could have made noise.
Yeah, they played. I don't know. Yeah, I think if they played Miami
again,
I remember watching that. Week 1, they went down, but then the second half they looked like the better team once they got it figured out. And Miami's gone on this run, but you play the game and Miami won, so I think it's totally fair that they're in and they've proven themselves worthy.
To think if Duke didn't win the ACC and stop Virginia, Miami would never be in.
Yep. Yeah, Virginia definitely would have taken that
ultimate choke job. Choke job.
No, it would have been Notre Dame taking that.
I think it would have been
I don't know.
Notre
Miami
Dame.
still might have got in because it would have more pushed James Madison out because Virginia would have been a conference.
Then we wouldn't have 2 G power like G5 schools.
G5. Yeah.
I think Miami
because we had James Madison and Tulane.
Yeah. Probably would have been Miami still the 10 seed, but it would have been Virginia 11,
Notre Dame.
Tulane 12.
Oh, yeah, because you got to give it to the conference title winner.
Yeah.
But is a win over Duke really going to push you that high?
It's an ACC champ.
But they're the ACC champs, so they're one of the highest ranked conference champions then.
And Virginia, I think, was ranked.
It's because both Tulane and James Madison were ranked ahead of Duke then.
Well, it wasn't Virginia, weren't they ranked 12?
They were
right around
15th
there
or something. But
they were just under 12. They weren't quite there yet. But with that, let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of Husker news. So there's a little bit of football news, but more so let's focus on basketball. 17-0, number 8 team in the country.
I'm going to say it, we're legit now.
We fear none.
Yeah.
We want Michigan. Give us Purdue. Give us all the powerhouses.
Granted, we did I did not think we were going to beat Oregon by almost 40, but we do have a tough stretch of basketball where we go at Michigan, then we host Illinois, then we go at Rutgers, and we host Purdue.
Yeah.
It's
going to be a little easier until we get to that Michigan game, like you're saying, and then our schedule is going to ramp up and get pretty hard. But yeah, since our last podcast, we played Indiana and Oregon. Like Michael was saying, we whopped Oregon 190-55. And then that Indiana game.
Overcame a 16-point deficit.
Yeah, down 16. I keep kind of down. I thought
we were done when we were down 10 against Indiana at Indiana. I thought, and Indiana wasn't missing a shot. And then all of a sudden, that second half rolls in, and Fred Hoiberg got the boys up and fired up, ready to play. That was fun to
Usually we don't
watch.
even get 17 wins in a season for most of our lives as Husker Hoops fans, but we already have
Since,
17.
since the year 2000, we have had 17 seasons where we did not have 17 wins. And our recent stretch was from 2020 or 2019 to 2022, where we didn't have 17 wins. So it's
It's a
just,
long time coming.
and now we're getting projected as a 1 seed in the South bracket from one. It wasn't Joe Lunardi, but it was one of those guys.
I hope we're
From
getting more respect.
CBS.
Because I saw something where people were saying, what's your tier 1 of Big Ten teams? And they're like, even though Nebraska's on this run, they're still tier 2. And they're like, the tier 1 is just Michigan and Purdue. And then they have us lower. But I'm like, I feel like
But Michigan lost to
21 games in a row.
Wisconsin.
That Michigan game is gonna.
Yeah, I
People
know.
are
Michigan
saying
lost
is-
to Wisconsin at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand, is that people can look at that loss and then see last night. Granted, they beat Minnesota off a buzzer beater last night.
Yeah, they narrowly escaped.
That, I feel
That
like
was
just with how
close.
deep the Big Ten is, clearly there's 4 teams at the top. You can include Michigan State. But then I just feel like there's a clear line between Illinois, USC.
Funny
Iowa.
enough, Nebraska goes to Minnesota, I think, in a week. Because we play at Northwestern next. And
That's
then,
on Saturday.
That's all
and then I
know that
thought
for
we
sure.
we play at Minnesota next week, I think.
after the Northwestern game.
Yeah, I haven't looked that far ahead, but I know that we got a couple big games coming up on the slate here in February.
It is nice, though. We've clinched a spot in the tournament, most likely, for the first time in January.
I mean, we made it 1 year, I think, going 18 and 12, and we're already 17 and 0, so.
Yeah.
Well, and this year, we're also 13th in the country in three-point attempts, but we're 16th in the country in 3 points made. Our
What are
offense
we
is
shooting,
just flying.
52%?
I think we shoot 48% from the field. Or 51.
Nice. I was going to say, last night, we were 17 of 36 from 3 when we beat Oregon. 17, and I'm pretty sure we tied the, team record for most threes made in a game since, 2022 or 2023.
Well, and shout out Braden Frager for going 7 from 11 from 3. Yeah. The Lincoln native is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That electric dunk. God, he's killing it right now. Keep it up.
So, someone else dropped 21 under Frager's 28 that game.
Price Sanford, I believe.
Sanford. The Iowa. Yep, it was Sanford. It was the Iowa transfer. So yeah, that's huge to see, too.
He's got a good deep ball.
When he's on fire, in his press conference after the game, he said he starts hunting threes when he's on fire to see what he can make and go for that. And I thought that's confident. That's
when you have a hot hand, just keep putting it up.
Exactly.
Well, there was a play where Sam Hoiberg was going to drive and take the 2, and then he saw Brendan Frager on the 3 line wide open. And he was like, why should I take the 2 when Frager's right there on fire? Just got to give it to him.
Sam Hoiberg has improved a lot because when he was a freshman, he was I thought of him as a defensive scrappy guy, but now he's also got a little offensive game to him, and it's
got 1-3 a game.
He had 6 steals and 11 points last night, and then his assists were right around the steals too. So he's playing efficient as hell.
Yeah.
Well, in other news, the Husker, I won't go into detail too in depth, just because with regards to the transfer portal for the football team, I don't want to hold my breath for anybody coming in, just because you never really know how they're going to pan out. Mm-hmm. But we've retooled our offensive and defensive lines, and also there is going to be significant improvement in the quarterback room, because there's going to be a couple different quarterbacks competing for the starting job rather than somebody getting handed that position.
Calandria, Latif, Danny Kalen came back, which was cool to see.
Exactly.
And then Dante Moore is staying at Oregon this year, so we'll
And for
see.
those that
We'll
didn't
have to.
know, Dylan Royola transferred to Oregon too, so most
We'll
likely
see.
going to sit a year.
Unless he just says I don't want to sit and go somewhere else. You never know. You
I
never
guess that's
know.
true.
He went to 4 different high schools before entering college.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him stay at Oregon or transfer either way, just
I think he'll
because
stay because he knows Dante Moore will probably only play one more season, so
You
I
never
just
know.
wish the kid the best, but I just think the way that he left the university really left a bad taste in a lot of Husker fans' mouth. Kind of stings because he preached loyalty and then didn't even say goodbye.
We offered his brother a scholarship
Yeah.
and he committed, which is
Well, and
crazy.
it's just kind of painful, but don't want to dwell on that for too long, just because overall, I think that the new offensive line is going to look significantly improved, just because we've got some tree trunks up there.
Well, and they
I
got
think
Jeep Wade coaching them up too, which
the
is
smallest
huge.
person on the line is now Justice Evans, who's our center. He's, I believe, like 6'2" to 320.
That South Carolina guard we brought in, I'm pretty sure it's
6'6".
like 6. Yeah, he's 6'6", pushing over 300, which we need. Like we were literally talking about what our own line needed. We need 300-pound linemen, both on the front or both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. So they went out and got tree trunks.
Hopefully we'll have a more balanced roster since we aren't putting so much on the quarterback in terms of our NIL money and stuff. That we can go get those O-linemen. We'll just have to see what it looks like.
Calandria's mobile, like a lot more mobile than what we had in the past. But he also took UNLV to I want to say, an 8+ win season. So
they might have been like 10-2.
They went like 10. Yeah, that's what I thought they went.
So I mean,
and most of their games were shootouts. Like whenever I did watching UNLV game, like I thought he looked good, and UNLV's offense was always firing. So
he's got a little dog in him.
Yep.
He pulled a Superman cam on a touchdown celebration, and like I don't know, he had some swagger to him, which is cool to see.
I don't care about touchdown celebrations, Michael. I want a good goddamn quarterback.
I mean,
I don't
looks
care about swag. We just had a swag chasing quarterback. I'm good.
I don't think
Give me
he
a
was
ball
swag
player.
chasing. He was more like a sack taker than anything.
He was a clout chaser. But let's go ahead and dive into the NFL wildcard review. I ended up going 4-2 on the weekend. So I'll just go ahead and go through the games and just give out the scores. So Texans beat the Steelers 30-6. Pats win 16-3. Niners win 23-19. Bills win 27-24. Rams win 34-31, and Bears beat the Packers 31-27. So
for the Bears' first playoff win in 15 years.
Yep. I'll let Michael go ahead and dive in because I know that he wants to cheer on and just kind of get this out of the way.
Well,
Drake May's first playoff win.
Yeah. So first off, congrats to the Chargers. They put up a good fight. They just couldn't do anything on the offensive side of the ball, unfortunately. But you guys fired your OC, so hopefully you guys can go and find somebody that can help generate more offensive yards. Defense played lights out. Granted, the Chargers did have an injured O-line, but we pressured Justin Herbert 30 times and sacked him 6 times. Drake May, our O-line definitely could have done better, considering he got sacked 5 times in the game. He also fumbled the ball and threw a pick. So Drake May did not have a perfect game by any means necessary, but he played with adversity. He got through his script plays, kept on fighting. He was also the leading rusher for the Patriots. No team could rush the ball. So that was interesting to see. And Hunter Henry, who was a former Charger, got the only touchdown of the game, which is kind of crazy considering the over-under was like 43 or something. But it was a good game by the Patriots. Now we play the Texans, and that game is a little worrisome, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, congrats to the Chargers. Hopefully you guys do find an OC to help you guys generate some yardage. And then outside of the Patriots game, it was a great week of NFL football. We got to see the Panthers put up a legitimate fight against the Rams. Panthers were underdogs by 10 points, so being able to give the Rams a fight is fun to see. Bryce Young looked great. I'm sure he's going to have a great season next year and try and get back to the playoffs. Matthew Stafford kind of sort of looked a little rusty during that game, so he didn't. But so did Drake May. So both MVP candidates didn't have the greatest of games.
One put up double
and then,
points.
Yeah, you know what? They didn't go up against a good Chargers defense. They went up against the Panthers defense. So
fair enough.
But besides that, Niners pulled off a good win against the Eagles, of which they were underdogs in. So now you guys get to be underdogs again. But it seems like the Niners thrive off of that kind of energy. Just relentless. Their defense, even injured, put up one hell of a fight against
Eric Kendricks, my guy.
Against a literal
former
offense
Charger
with
and
AJ
Viking.
Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley. Albeit AJ Brown had some dropped passes there that he definitely should not have dropped for the Eagles offense.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Shoulda,
woulda, coulda.
Early in the game.
If it hits your hands, you should be catching it.
100%. And AJ Brown did not do that. And apparently a 9-year-old was getting on AJ Brown or getting on the Phillies owner to send him on his merry way, I guess. And then outside of that, Bears for the first time in 15 years won a playoff game at Soldier Field. Caleb Williams is him, I guess, and he gets to move on to the next round as well. Josh Allen gets a second chance to continue his fight to his Super Bowl ring, as he was able to defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars, in which was a really good game. And then Texans Steelers. Old man Rodgers seems like he's going to be retiring. Mike Tomlin left the Steelers, so I don't see what they're going to do. But Aaron Rodgers' 1-year contract also ends this year as well, so that's something to think about. But what about you, Chase? What'd you think outside of, give your thoughts on what went wrong for the Chargers.
Yeah, I guess I can start with that game. Yeah, our defense played well. So it sucks that just every Chargers playoff game just seems to be like watching a train wreck since the Herbert era. Especially these last two. Last night we just couldn't get anything going. I'm seeing a lot of reasons why, like our offensive line was banged up, and then there's people showing the all 22 on Twitter and like giving their analysis on what they think happened. But yeah, I don't know if Herbert gets really nervous before playoff games, but he seems to not play his best in playoff games. In the regular season, in primetime games, he's fine. We went 5-0 this year in primetime games, and he never seems nervous for those. But these playoff games, he seems just to be a little off. He had a couple underthrows, missed some throws that he would characteristically make most of the time. But
McConkey was struggling against Gonzalez too, because he was your guys' number one, and we just stuck Gonzo on him. And
I think Gonzo was on QJ most of the time, unless he goes into the slot a lot, because that's where we have Lad.
It might have been Marcus Jones covering him on the other side then on the slot. I don't know. but our defense just looked lights out.
Yeah, and I thought
It's a
like
handicapped
we had
offensive
time.
line.
Our O-line gave enough time, like more than they have in some games in that first half. I mean, once the Patriots kind of took, especially when they got up 2 possessions in the fourth quarter, they were just sending everyone, and it was over at that point. But yeah, it just sucks because all year we've kind of had like our first string running back didn't play, our second string running back didn't play in this game. We're down to our third stringer, Vidal. We have this banged up O-line that doesn't have Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, but most of the year we didn't have those guys anyway, and we were putting up more than 3 points. So I guess I'll give my hats off to the Patriots defense and not just be all doom and gloom because it is a two-way street. The Patriots came with a good game plan on defense, and they executed well. And then both our offensive game plan was awful compared with Patriots masterclass on defense was going to lead to 3 points and absolutely nothing in the second half offensively. We put together one good drive, got a field goal out of it. We should have gotten at least another field goal, maybe another touchdown. When the Patriots
feel like you guys could have gotten that touchdown. Yeah, when you guys chose to go for it, I thought you guys were scoring a touchdown there to go up 7-6.
If we get up 7-0, just that one touchdown is enough to change this whole game. Drake May fumbled twice. One was recovered by his offensive lineman, and he threw an interception. He gave us chances if we could have just done anything. Because we were going 3 and out like it was no one's business, and our defense would still get stops. Even when the Patriots would move the ball, they'd hold them to a field goal or get a turnover in the red zone to keep it 9-3 as long as they could. But, yeah. It's just tough. I really wanted to win one playoff game this year just to get the monkey off Herbert's back, because I think it's just going to be. I think we're going to be good again next year. We have the most cap space in the NFL. Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater will be back.
You guys won't be banged up at running back.
Yeah, you just gotta hope you're not going to get as injured.
Yeah.
Next year as you did this year. So I think we're going to be. I still trust in Harbaugh. And I want to get some young offensive mind in there. There are some older guys I wouldn't mind, even like Mike McCarthy of all people I thought of. I wouldn't hate him as an OC. So we'll see.
McDaniel.
We'll see going forward.
McDaniel over McCarthy.
I like Mike McDaniels a lot. I'm scared he's going to get a head coaching job opportunity.
Yeah.
But if not, he should. I feel we're up there with the Eagles as best OC job available.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could see what the Ravens look like once they hire a head coach, but
what if John hired Jim as an OC?
Jim Harbaugh?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna lose our head coach?
What if Jim hired John as an OC?
The only thing, neither one of them really calls plays, so we'll probably bring in an OC that's an offensive play caller. Because Jim Harbaugh doesn't call plays.
Yeah. Would be cool to see both of them coaching on the same team.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I was like, we should bring him in for the playoff run.
Bring him in on the defense as an assistant.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't know. I just feel bad for you guys. Next season's newer and brighter things. But
I think there's more to look forward to on the Charger side than the Husker side, to be honest. But
let me see. I like it.
Herbert's just got to figure it out. But, Peyton Manning started 0-3, so you just got to find silver linings. But I give quick thoughts on these other games. I spent majority of the time on my Chargers, but Rams-Panthers. Panthers played better than I thought. Rams offense, I thought, looked pretty good, and Panthers took a lead, 31-27 with just like a couple minutes left. I was like, oh my God, Nathan called it. Nathan said the Panthers were going to win this game, and I thought there was no chance. I said this would be the only result that would surprise me, is if the Panthers won. They had a lead late, but Stafford and Puka clutched it up with some big throws and catches to score a touchdown there and take the lead at the end of the game.
MVP behavior.
Yep. And then Bears-Packers, like Michael said, first playoff win in forever for the Bears. The atmosphere was pretty crazy. Packers got them to go silent, though, at the 21-3 lead at half. And then here comes the Bears. All of a sudden, it's 21-16. But then the Packers, with 4 minutes left, go and they go up 27 to 16. Then I'm like, oh, it's game. There's only 4 minutes left. But before you know it, Bears score a touchdown, get a defensive stop, score another touchdown, and it's game. The Bear City, Chicago, was just waiting to wake up. What I saw all over Twitter, they tore down the city afterwards, celebrating
They
crazy.
partied. Yeah.
Mhm.
They partied like they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, something Patriot fans, they don't get too crazy like this.
We only celebrate.
They're used to
We
going
only
to the Super Bowl.
celebrate Super Bowls.
But yeah, good win. Good win for the Bears. Could have been bad. Like, they had this great season, but then you lose. If you lose to the Packers round one, it kind of eliminates or ends on a sour note. But they beat the Packers, and now I feel like they're playing with house money. No matter what happens this season, it's going to be known as a good first year with Ben Johnson.
Successful. Yeah.
I don't know. I heard it's going to be like 0 degrees and snowy, maybe for the Bears-Rams games. So Bears could maybe pull it off.
They're going to be playing a lot better of a quarterback.
Bills Jaguars. That game went well. I thought the Jaguars looked like the better team, but the Bills had Josh Allen. I remember us texting about when the Jaguars took that lead, and we're like, "Oh, Josh Allen's got to go on a game-winning drive." We're like, "Well, anyone in the playoffs, you probably want him to be the guy."
Would not want to be the Jags.
Yeah, and he did. I thought the Jags were good, and I even thought they played really well in this game. Jags, I did not want to play at all round one for the Chargers, and I think if they could have played someone other than the Bills, they probably could have got a playoff win this year. But Josh Allen is, I don't know, he basically wins every playoff game that he doesn't face Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes is nowhere to be seen in these playoffs right now. So see how the Bills do, and then 49ers-Eagles, probably my biggest surprise of the weekend. Kyle Shanahan just gets it done. Robert Saleh, their defense is so injured, and they make the Eagles look terrible on offense. Purdy looked really good. He made a couple mistakes by throwing interceptions, but other than that, I'd rather take Purdy's performance over Herbert because Purdy's not scared to let it rip and make some plays down the field.
Slinger. He is a ball slinger.
I
Clock
thought
Purdy.
Looked good. And then Texans Steelers. For a while there, it was 10-6 in the fourth. You were like, oh, this is weird. This is right where Mike Tomlin and the Steelers want the Texans in a weird 10-6 game in the fourth quarter in Pittsburgh. But then they fumbled, and the Texans returned it and went up 17-6, and it was over then because the Steelers couldn't do anything on offense once it was a two-possession game. So, yeah, Texans-Pats now, and Michael said he wanted the Texans going into that game. So,
good luck, buddy.
I got $20 on it.
Nathan?
I got $20. I'll tell you this later. Go ahead, Nathan.
So I'll only really dive into the Niners game. God, Brock Purdy 3 years ago has a terrible elbow injury in the NFC title game. In the first half, gets hurt, goes into the locker room. Our backup gets hurt, so he has to go back into the game where he cannot throw a forward pass. And then is proceeded to get mocked by the fans of Philadelphia for being so bad and being exposed as a system quarterback. But fast forward to last weekend, Brock Purdy returned to the Link in Philadelphia, and he delivered a win in the playoffs against the returning Super Bowl champion. Christian McCaffrey caught a touchdown pass from Jawan Jennings. Think about that for a second. That is a wide receiver, and he threw more touchdown passes than Justin Herbert did in the playoffs.
I think I saw he has more career playoff touchdowns than Herbert.
Yeah, because he threw one in the Super Bowl. We lost to the Chiefs. Yep. So, with play callers like Saleh on the defense, being able to coach guys up like Eric Kendricks and Garrett Wallow that we signed earlier in the week, it just blows my mind. Eric Kendricks, he's a vet. He's very, he was Fred Warner before Fred Warner came into the league. They definitely overlapped in play, but Kendricks was doing a lot of the same stuff that Warner is very good at. So the fact that he can still play at a high level means a lot for this defense. I do think that Saleh should continue to start Kendricks and Wallow, regardless if Bethune and Winters are healthy, just because I think that we fare better against the Seattle defense this way. Winters was bouncing off a bunch of tackles, and not Winters, sorry. Bethune was bouncing off a bunch of tackles week 18, and I think they had like 16 or 17 broken tackles against us. So I just think that if those two start, you throw in Siegel at safety, and we should be solid against Seattle. Brock Purdy has never lost in the city of Seattle. So, great win. We might have broke the Eagles. We might have hit the reset button on their team. It sounds like Kevin Patullo got fired, their offensive coordinator. We'll see what else happens in the coming future. But with that, let's go ahead and dive into the NFL divisional round picks. I'll go ahead and start really fast. Since we only got 4 games this week, I'll give a little bit more in depth. But I have the Bills over the Broncos, where the Broncos are favored 1.5. I have the Bills winning 28-24 at Denver. We saw it last week. The Jacksonville Jaguars looked like they had the better team all around, but Josh Allen is the better quarterback, and he showed why. So I think in the playoffs, if you have that game breaker at quarterback being Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen right now, those two, regardless of who you're facing, can never be counted out in a playoff game. I think that they're going to be able to pull off the win there, regardless of who Josh Allen is throwing the ball to. The next game, I have the Texans over the Patriots, who are favored by 3. My reasoning for this is, again, I cannot let Michael advance further into the playoffs just because he will be uncontrollable depending on how far they make it. I have, well,
you only celebrate Super Bowls, Nathan.
But also, DeMeco Ryans has a monster defense. They are so scary and lights out. Like, with the way that they played against the Chargers defense, which is formidable, I'm not a knock on them, but I do think that the Texans defense is one of the best in the league. And,
how's their offense?
If Drake May plays rusty, it could be rough. I do think that their offense could be a little bit more explosive than the Chargers just due to the lack in injuries. So if you're going up against us, yeah. They also have dynamic running backs who will be available this game. The Chargers did not. They had Vidal. No offense to him, but he is the third string for a reason. So I had the Texans beating the Pats 21-17.
Yeah, you have them losing. You're riding with the Patriots? Okay.
Texans to beat the Patriots 21-17. I then have the Bears to beat the Rams. Let's go with 28-24, just because it's going to be snowy. I've seen Matthew Stafford have I think he might have the most game-winning drives in the playoffs of active quarterbacks in the playoffs right now.
Okay.
But
I was like, of active players, but yeah, he's not.
Yeah, it would be Mahomes right now, but he's not in the playoffs, so I do think that is something to wear here. But again, we did see them come back from quite a few points against the Packers last week in the fourth quarter. I don't think they'll be able to do that if that happens against the Rams, just because they're better coached. And I don't know. I think the defense for the Rams is a little bit more scary than the Packers defense.
The Rams also lost to the Falcons and blew like a 28-point lead.
The Bills also lost to the Falcons too.
That is true.
Falcons beat some teams.
They did.
They weren't bad.
The Jets, so
they also lost to the Patriots.
But then the last game that I have is I have the Niners to beat the Seahawks, who are favored by 7.
Of course you
I've
do.
got the Niners winning 24-14 in
You
Seattle.
gotta ride with your team. You have
Yep.
to.
Well, even if I wasn't a fan, I would just take a look at Brock Purdy and I would say he's balling out right now, regardless of Week 18. We lost George Kittle. I think that he had surgery today, I believe, so prayers up to you, big guy. I hope it went successful.
That stinks.
But also, I think that this team has something more to rally behind now because guess what? Guess who could come back next week and had their practice window open?
Warner.
Mr. Fred fucking Warner.
Finally.
This guy is about to go on a demon run if we make that divisional round. If my prediction is correct, Fred Warner is going to come back in that divisional round and he's going to beat Ben Johnson in the divisional round in Chicago to advance to the Super Bowl at home. Okay, I don't think you guys understand. I believe it was a dislocation and a fracture of his ankle back in week 6. Can you imagine trying to even think about playing football in that same year as doing that?
We're also talking about the same man that tore his Achilles when he was walking onto the field.
No, we're not. That was Drake Greenlaw.
Oh.
You really don't know
Well,
what
that
you're talking
sucks.
about, buddy.
Yeah, would be awesome for you guys if he comes back because I, for one, thought there was no way he was coming back this season. Until like a week or two ago, I saw the Niners go on a run. He might play, so.
Yep. So his practice window is open. I don't believe that he's playing this weekend from all the reports I've seen, but
That's what I saw too. That'd be next week that he could be back for if you guys.
yep. It could also be some misdirect by Kyle Shanahan. He just comes running out onto the field.
That would be
But
crazy if he came
I highly
back.
doubt that.
Technically, he should have an injury report like released to the media the day before the game.
Because it will
he
be
will.
I think it would be Thursday.
Saturday at 7.
Because for the Chargers,
Because we play
Patriots,
Saturday at 7:30.
That's when I know like Tonga wasn't playing for the Patriots because they announced it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. But Chase, what do you think about the picks?
Yeah.
What are your picks this week?
I think I'm a 50-50 split with the picks that you just gave. I'm gonna ride with you with the Bills. It's Josh Allen. I feel like you ride with him. I've seen this Broncos team, I think in the last 3 weeks, have scored less than 20 points. I don't know. I'm not very confident in Bo Nix. They barely beat the Chiefs with Odafe. And then when they played with Trey Lance, they only scored 1 touchdown against us all game. I mean, maybe we do have a good defense. I mean, the Patriots also only scored 1 touchdown against us, but we were playing with Trey Lance against the Broncos, which I guess isn't much better than Justin Herbert right now. But either way, we weren't doing anything on offense all game, which now makes me realize the Chargers scored 0 touchdowns in their last 2 games to end the season. But yeah, I like the Bills. I really like Josh Allen. I don't know if this 2 weeks off for the Broncos are going to help them. They haven't really played a competitive football game in a while. Their last 2 games before this was, like I said, against Odafe and the Chiefs and Trey Lance and the Chargers. So it's kind of
hasn't played a game in 3 weeks.
No, he's played in all those games. They just haven't been like.
Did he? I didn't know if he played against the Chargers or not.
They did because if they lost, you guys could have moved into the 1 seed.
Taking the 1.
Shucks.
Yep. I remember when he came in, I was like, "What?" And then
He
the
might have
announcer
not
said
played
that.
the
I'm like,
whole
"Huh?"
game, but he definitely played like 3.5 quarters.
To get the lead.
Yeah, they were only up like 19-6 or something. Is like what the final score was. But yeah, I like the Bills. I think Josh Allen is going to get it done. He's going to make enough plays to win that game. 49ers Seattle. I like the under a lot in this game, 45.5. If I was going to give a pick, when they just played 2 weeks ago, it was 13-3, and the 49ers did have George Kittle in that game. I think it's going to be another.
We didn't have Trent Williams.
That's true. I mean, and you guys were right there, like 13-3.
Or Ricky Pearsall.
You guys would have at least got a field goal at the very worst if CMC, which is so uncharacteristic.
Once in a season interception.
Yeah, bounces off CMC's hands in the Seahawks defender, and that was kind of your guys' last hope. There's like 5-6 minutes left in the game, so you kind of needed that to bring it within 1 possession and then try to stop and score again. I think 49ers are a live dog, like Nathan said. I'm going to take Seattle to win, but I like the Niners +7. Seahawks win by like 3, like 16-13 in a weird, low-scoring game in Seattle. Houston's Patriots. I like the Patriots to win this game. I think it could look a lot like the Patriots-Chargers game. This Houston defense is no joke. Drake May is going to have to make some plays using his legs against this Texans defense if they want to win like he did against the Chargers. Because they got Singletary back there. They got Lassiter. So it's not going to be easy. Drake May is going to have to show why he was an MVP candidate this year. But I like the Patriots. I think they just got a little bit more on offense. I like Drake May more than CJ Stroud. But a big part of this game, Gonzalez was out with a concussion the last game. Nico Collins also got hurt with a concussion. So they're both questionable for this game. And with concussions, it can be kind of hit or miss if they make it back for the next game or not, or if they're out for 2 weeks.
Gonzo was officially cleared today.
He was clear. He was cleared now.
I saw. I just saw that from a New England beat reporter that he was cleared.
Yeah, because if Gonzalez isn't out there, then I'd like the Texans a little bit more to make some plays with Nico Collins. And same way, if Nico Collins can't go, then you can put Gonzalez on wide receiver number 2, and the Texans would really struggle on offense then. But yeah, I like the Patriots like 20-16, something in that range.
Great teams cover.
Yeah.
Great teams cover.
And then Bears, Rams. I think keep going back and forth on this game.
What's the over/under looking like?
48.5. I think I'm gonna go Rams, but I do think the Bears can win this game. I think Stafford and McVay are going to make enough plays, and I don't think that Bears defense is very good. Like the 49ers just put up like 42 points against them. So I do think Stafford and them can make plays, but it does scare me. If that weather is weird, I think that plays into the Bears plan and their run game, and Caleb Williams has a certain zip on the ball that I don't know if Stafford quite has that, which Stafford has a strong arm, but Caleb Williams can really zip that thing sometimes. So
Stafford's a dome quarterback. He can't thrive in the weather.
Played in Detroit.
Detroit's a dome, Nathan.
Where do they have to play twice a year? Green Bay, Chicago, or once a season?
When was the last time he was in Detroit, Nathan?
Probably not very long ago, but there's a dome in Detroit.
When was the last time he was in Chicago, Nathan?
He plays in Seattle. He plays in San Fran.
He's a dome quarterback.
You're tripping.
His home stadium's a dome, okay? He's a dome quarterback.
Technically, it's open on the sides. I had to wait for a lightning delay once.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Well, what about you, Michael?
Yeah, give us yours, buddy.
So, I'm going Bills over Broncos. I'm running with Josh Allen. He doesn't have Mahomes.
Unanimous.
And he's going up against a Broncos defense that hits or misses, honestly. Like we've been saying, the Broncos scored a combined like 20-ish points in the last 2 weeks. So, in that Bills defense, people don't give them that much credit, but they're good. They know how to stop a play if they need to. They just got done holding back a Jacksonville Jags offense that was averaging almost 200 yards a game. So I'm just going Bills.
This is their run defense, if anything. With the Broncos, they have lost J.K. Dobbins for the season, so they just have R.J. Harvey and someone else that I'm forgetting his name. So kind of goes into the strength that Broncos aren't a very good run team.
Yeah, I'm just kind of. I don't think weather is really going to play that much of a factor. Now, Josh does have to deal with the elevation, which is always something to bring up in Mile High because elevation's just...
Maybe his time at Wyoming will help.
Yeah. So, but I'm going with the Bills. As for the Niners-Seahawks, I'm going to take the Seahawks to win, but the Niners will cover that 7. I just
We don't want your pity.
you guys just don't
Get over on the other side. You're either with us or you're against
Kittle,
us.
Kittle is a huge part of your guys' offense, and it's going to stink not having him.
Check is a plug and play.
He is a plug and play. But I think it's going to be like a 24-21 game. I think it's going to be close.
And the Seahawks are going to lose.
I think Seahawks come out firing on all cylinders, but then once that second half starts...
freaking Darnold, guys. Come on.
It is.
He's had a good season, Nathan.
He had a good season in Minnesota. What happened? I forgot.
In the playoff game, he was overwhelmed by a pass rush and Jared Verse of the Rams. And with your guys' injury, I don't know if you can get that pass rush as much. But I do think you guys are going to be in this game.
I think it's good. It's not like we're saying you guys lose by 7, Nathan. I think it's going to be a hard
time.
I just think maybe honestly I see Sam Darnold having to do a game.
Oh, I just flipped him, didn't I?
Huh?
Did I just flip your pick?
No, you did. I'm saying Seahawks win the game, but I think Sam Darnold might have to put together a game-winning drive at the end to do so.
I do not put my faith in Sam Darnold to do that. I'm sorry.
But it's the Seahawks, just their team in general. I don't know. It's going to be a close game, but I'm right.
Niners can stop their run game, then I could definitely...
Renardo Green is healthy. Renardo Green is healthy. Him, Upton Stout, and Demo are going to lock down this wide receiver room for Seattle. And you guys are going to see next week when we get back here and the Niners are back in the divisional championship. And I'm going to say, hey, I told you about Sam Darnold. Now let me tell you about this guy, Caleb Williams.
I'm just going to ride Seahawks money line. Texans, Patriots, you guys already know who I got to ride with. I got to ride with Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, fucking Travion Henderson, Christian Gonzalez. I got to ride with my guys, okay? Patriots are favored -3. It's at Gillette. Drake May will have to play a better game than what he played against the Chargers because that Texans defense is for fucking real. He needs to not turn the ball over at all. So whether that be trying to have Josh McDaniels scheme like little cross routes to get the ball out quicker, because that Texans D-line is going to be applying that pressure, and D'Amico Ryans is so good at putting together just schemed blitzes or more or less disguising blitzes where Drake might think it's coming from left and all of a sudden it's coming from the right. So they're going to have to be on their P's and Q's this game. We cannot have a turnover issue whatsoever. And our defense is just going to have to play the same exact way we played against the Chargers. We're going to have to be applying that pressure against their O-line because we can't let C.J. Stroud just sit back there and throw the ball. If we play our defensive run game or defensive run scheme like we did against the Chargers, I think we'll force C.J. Stroud to throw the ball. And if Gonzo can lock down Nico, as long as Nico's playing, and force C.J. Stroud to throw to the tight end, throw to the second or the check down receiver, I think we win this game. I will take Patriots -3 because I think that Vegas is right on the money there. I think it's going to be a close game. I do not foresee it being a blowout or anything like that. So Patriots -3. Gillette's going to be firing on all cylinders. They were loud for the Chargers. They're going to be allowed again for the Texans. Drake May gets a chance to go 2-0 in his first 2 playoff games, which is better than the last 3 quarterbacks we've had combined. Cam Newton, Mac Jones, and Bailey Zappi.
Did Bailey Zappi even play in a playoff game?
I thought he played when we were getting blown out by the Bills when we were down
Mac
like 36
Mac
to
Jones
3.
definitely started. I mean, maybe Zappi played.
Yeah, and Zappi got subbed in. But
I was like
besides
three
the point,
quarterbacks. So you guys had Tom Brady,
yeah, no, it was Cam Newton, Mac Jones, and Bailey
Jones.
Zappi.
Yes.
He got thrown in the game. It counts.
No,
It
he
might have
didn't
not been
start a
his fault
game.
that we were down that bad, but more
That'd
or
be like
less,
saying Josh Johnson played in a playoff or has stats for a playoff game for the Niners as a quarterback when he played in the NFC title game when Purdy got hurt.
would it make you guys happier if I said last 2 quarterbacks we've had?
Yeah.
More
Okay.
accurate.
Okay.
I don't even think Cam Newton played in the playoffs.
No, I don't think he did either. Actually,
He was just a starter.
No, we only
guys.
had him for a season, and it was
Yeah.
COVID.
Dang.
So, yeah. Yeah. You
That's
know what?
okay.
You guys had 5 years, and now we're back. Now we're back in the playoffs for people to play against and
It's
to
okay, we did
worry
nothing
for.
during the 5 years.
Good
that
luck with the
Patriots were gone.
Texans. Good luck
Yeah,
with the
good
Texans.
luck with the Seahawks. Y'all are going to need it.
You guys
But
are
yeah,
both
Patriots
playing
-3.
Best
better
defenses
teams.
maybe in each conference.
Yeah, 100%.
But here's the difference. We have the best conference in football, the NFC West. The best division, I should say.
Yeah, this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say those 3 teams. I mean, you guys had Niners, Seahawks, and Rams.
So that's the best division in football this year, right?
And yet you guys are going to cannibalize yourselves, and only one's going to make it if one makes it.
That's okay.
Well, it works
might
out.
not
One
be the
NFC
Niners.
team, one AFC team make it.
Yeah.
Might not be the Niners, Nathan. Might not be the Niners.
I like our chances.
And then for the Rams Bears, I'm 50-50 because I can see the Bears winning this game. I really can, especially in Soldier Field. If there's lake effect snow, if there's any snow on the ground, that's weather that Caleb Williams is used to. And like you guys had said, Stafford has played in Seattle, played in San Fran. He knows how to play in the weather. He played in Detroit. So he's had to be at almost every outdoor stadium. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm riding with the Bears. Fuck Matt Stafford. I don't want him to get a Super Bowl ring on a potential MVP season. Fuck him. He shoved or someone shoved and he didn't help somebody back up during a Super Bowl parade. And this is his fucking karma, okay? The Bears will win. For their second win in a playoff game in 15 years. And Chicago's going to be partying just like they won a Super Bowl back-to-back weeks. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting NFL weekend. We got a lot ahead of us, and I'm worried, but not like, I would say I'm like a level 5 worried out of 10. I'm like halfway there. Now, if you guys ask me again Sunday morning before we play, it might be towards a 7 or an 8, just because I get nervous closer to game time. But right now, I'm at like a 5 of level of worry. I believe in Braves. I believe he's going to have the team ready. So, we'll see. But other than that, fellas, good luck on your guys' picks this week. And other than Nathan's Texans pick, I hope your bets hit outside of the Texans Patriots game. And I'm not providing any hope. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, and we'll see this time next week if the Patriots and Niners are both still alive, or if one of them are alive, or if both of them are dead.
Nathan, imagine we get a
you guys
Niners
join me in the
Patriots
offseason.
Super Bowl.
You can look at cap space and mock drafts with me.
Nathan, what if
Hey,
the
we
Niners
got a lot of cap space.
What if
I take that.
if
I would
Niners
not be
Patriots
afraid.
play, do you want to put $20 on it in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, sure. I'm confident enough to do that.
All right.
But, all right. Well, with that, was there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about before we cut off for the night?
I'm all good. Go Patriots.
Yeah, I think we hit it all.
All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in. Feel free to like, comment, and share the video if you like it. Subscribe for more. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Deuces.
Night.